All right, Dave here with another exciting tutorial, and today I want to talk about Rigify in Blender. Okay, why didn't anybody tell me about this sooner? This is the coolest thing. You're able to rig characters super quick, right? Basically with just a few clicks. What I'll do is I'll just kind of rig these characters that we're seeing here, and again, just generic characters. And if you want to practice along with me, feel free to grab these characters. I'll leave a link for this below, but if you go to davidbittorf.com and then you can see YouTube files, if I click on this, these are the files that are associated with this lesson, and you can see they're absolutely free. You just click on this and then you download, okay, and you'll have these exact files to practice along with, and you can see that some of my other videos on YouTube also have practice files, so I encourage you to kind of take a look at that. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started here. What the heck is Rigify? Well, I'm just going to go File, New, General, okay? And this is how Blender starts by default. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that cube. Heck, I'll delete the camera. And now I'll go ahead and, well, first of all, let's take a look at this. So if I go Shift A, I can see armature. Okay, that's how we normally build like a rig, right? A skeleton, and then we can put controllers on it and stuff like that. But if I go up here, and if I go to Edit Preferences, and then I'm gonna just type in Rigify, okay, and you can see that it's already in here. I didn't even need to download it. It's just hiding here. And if I turn it on, now it's enabled. And now, if I do Shift A, Armature has a special menu that has a bunch of other stuff. Okay, so you can see that there's single bone, Rigify meta rigs. I can do a human, animal, or basic, and you can see all the different animals they have here. So if I go to human, let's see what happens. Okay, here it is. So basically it gives me a human skeleton, and you can see that there's a lot of complexity in the face here, how they did that. Okay, face is with all joints. Notice it also has all the fingers and that kind of stuff. If I look at some other ones here, okay, here's all the animals. Before I do that, I'm just going to go to the basic human. Okay, the basic human is basically the same thing except without the face and without the fingers. Okay, and if I look at some of these others, animals, I can see right here. So if I go to let's say the cat, you can see kind of this quadruped rig here. And you might say, hey Dave, it doesn't have any of the control rig. Well, it will in a second. So I feel like what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a mesh and just show you how this works. So I'll go ahead and delete that. So I'll go ahead and import one of the characters from the file. So I'm just going to go like this, File, Import, OBJ, and I'll go ahead and find it. So let's see here. Okay, and I'm going to bring in the alien. And if I go to Import, and again, these are free to download from this site. Now I can see that this is super big. I'm going to go ahead and do Shift A, Armature, and I'm just going to bring in the basic human. Okay, now look at how small that is. Look at how big this is. That's okay. I'm going to select this and then press S to scale it down to get it to about the size of my rig. I feel like it's smarter to do that than it is to scale up the rig, because there's more that can go wrong if you scale up the rig. I'm going to press 1 on the number pad to look at this straight on, and also press X-ray. Now, my next thing that I need to do is align the rig to the character. And if I press 3 on the number pad, I can see it sideways. 1 on the number pad, I see it like this. So to align it, I'm going to go ahead and select this rig and go to Edit. Now, I simply can drag over it, okay? Drag over it like that. And then I'm going to also press X up here to mirror it. And now I can press G to move. Drag over. There we go. Okay, great. Grab this, G. Notice that I'm dragging over it. I feel like sometimes if you single click on it, you might not grab everything or break it apart. So I just kind of be careful with that. Press 3 on the number pad to look at it from sideways. G, G, G. Okay, cool. There we go. Grab this. Kind of hard to see where the elbow is and stuff like that, but just do your best. Okay. And again, we're almost done with it, rigging this guy, believe it or not. Okay, that looks pretty good. If I wanted to see, I could turn off X-ray, and I could see, looks like nothing's sticking out of him. That's good. Now, okay, Now what do we do? Well, let's go like this. I'm going to select this guy. I'm going to shift select his skeleton. And then over here, I'm going to click on this data properties. And then you can see down here, there's generate rig. Boom, hallelujah. Look at this. Now, if I click on this, I can go to pose mode and I'll move this and it doesn't connect yet. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to select him in object mode, select him first, shift select the rig, control P as in parent, and then I'm going to say with automatic weights. Now, if I select this in object mode, switch to pose mode, I can select this, press G. Hey, look at that. Awesome. Are you kidding me? This is so cool. Lot of cool functionality here. I can see. I can also, if I open this up, there's things in here. So for example, if you are into rigging and all that kind of stuff, you can switch between FK and IK here. So if you wanted to do an FK, so in other words, here's IK, where I'm moving the end joint. But if I wanted to do it the other way around, I could set this up like that. Now I can't move this one. Instead, I would have to move it here, where I can move it like that and like this in an FK fashion. So again, super cool. If I want it to be IK, I just go here, bring this back. And again, there's more kind of hidden gems in there of cool things that can happen. But just go ahead and play around with it. You can see here's the master control at the bottom. I can move this. Okay. Notice that the skeleton is staying in place. That's okay. Everything's just kind of working as it should. So that's how you do the human. Let's go ahead and kind of do another one here. So if I go to general, okay, I'm going to go ahead and delete this. And I'll just go ahead and import another character. So if I import OBJ, and I'll bring in the cat. Okay, import. Okay, here's the cat. Awesome. Now, again, Shift A, and I'm going to bring in the animal rig here at cat. Again, I can see it's super tiny there. I'm going to select the cat, press S as in scale, bring this way down. S, boom. Okay. And now if I look at it from the side, press 3 on the number pad, take a look at this. Okay. And I'm just kind of getting it started, okay, somewhere. That looks pretty good, okay. Now I'm going to select this, edit, and now I'm going to go ahead and kind of start correcting this. So I'm just going to kind of grab this, G. Whoop. I should also make sure that I have X pressed right there. There we go. G. Move it around. Okay, looks pretty good here so far. And I feel like if you don't need to move some joints, don't. Just kind of leave them in place. I feel like sometimes when moving stuff, that's when things could go wrong. So obviously there's some that really need to be moved. But if you don't need to move them, just maybe don't. Okay, and now if I look at this again from the front, okay, again, I've got mirroring on, so that helps. And if you've ever done regular rigging, you're gonna be like, oh my God, this feels like I'm definitely cheating, right? Because I feel like this is so easy compared to regular rigging. And I probably don't even have to be even this precise, but I feel like some of these, like this, maybe I want that to be kind of close to, you know, the end of the mesh there. But yeah, that looks pretty good. Maybe I want the spine up here. Okay, cool. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm going to turn off X-ray. I can see that I've got some joints sticking outside the head, so I feel like that's probably not ideal. Could come in here, and if I press S to scale, okay. One thing that I should mention is that if you you got to be careful if you are scaling the rig. You want to look here under if I select this in object mode, I want to make sure that the scale did not get adjusted. If it did, you might have to go to transform and apply scale to deltas. So you want these all to be 1. Okay, that's why I scaled the cat down to fit the rig instead of the rig up to fit the cat. Okay, good. Now I've got this. And now if we remember, I just click on the rig, click on this guy, and then generate rig. Notice it says upgrade face rig. Okay, I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to hit generate rig. Of course, the face isn't going to work because the geometry is too easy right now for it. But I feel like it's still there. You can see the potential is there. And again, this isn't going to work until I select the cat, shift select the rig, and then Control P with automatic weights. Now, again, if I select this, go to pose mode, now I can grab this, boom, move around. Super, super awesome here. Okay, there we go. Even if it's not perfect, I mean, I feel like you could obviously make some edits from here. What a great way to start. I mean, this is insane. So hopefully, you know, this was super helpful. If this character had eyes, you can see that there would even be an eye aim. Look at that. I mean, just insane. This is so cool. So, you know, definitely have some fun with this. Let me know what you think in the comments below. But again, I'm just super stoked about Rigify. If we look at these other ones here, so again, I left those practice files for you, but let's take a look at what else these offer. Okay, like if I look at bird, we can see the bird rig. That looks pretty cool. Let's take a look at some others. Horse. Okay, now I don't have a horse or a bird in the practice file, but I do have a horse. And on this, these will stick out. So if the horse had a mane or some hair, it could be rigged, but it'll still work even if those are outside of the mesh. Okay, let's look at some others. Shark. I do have a shark in the practice file. Okay, that's pretty cool. And a wolf. Okay, you can see a wolf. It's pretty cool. And basic, okay, just basic quadruped. Okay, so just kind of a generic quadruped. So again, really, really cool stuff. Hopefully this can save you a lot of time, right? And just kind of, or if you're new to rigging and you want to just kind of get started quickly and then kind of get exposed to what it's like, because then you can just start animating really quickly. So awesome. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.